My name is Michael Binger. I'm CEO of Minor Corporation in Thailand. I'm originally from Germany, but I've been out in Asia for more than 12 years. I've worked 13 years with Adidas in various functions, 8 years in Hong Kong, then in Singapore. And I joined Minor Corporation in 2009. Minor Corporation is one of the leading fashion, lifestyle and cosmetic retailers here in Thailand. We've had a presence in retail for more than 20 years. Today we are distributing a portfolio of brands ranging from Esprit, Charles & Keith, Gap, Bossini, Tumi, and on the cosmetic side we're doing brands like Smashbox, Red Earth and Bloom. So overall we have retail presence in Thailand with more than 250 doors, ranging from big flagship stores of about 700 square meters to cosmetic department store counters. So quite a diverse section of retail across Thailand. Well, this is a very broad question, but one of the basics about operating in retail is really keeping your brand relevant to consumers and in the market. And this means at the point of retail, creating the shopping experience that your brand consumer wants. It's being relevant to knowing your consumer, being relevant to that consumer, and not only from a marketing message but also from a shopping and service experience to your staff being able to connect to your target customer. Obviously the basics about operating retail then comes into having the right product at the right time. Having more and more, the challenge is having product freshness. People visit stores more frequently. They don't want to see the same range week after week. So it's keeping the product life cycle fresh, giving your staff enough marketing, product, brand messages to talk about with your consumer, and then creating obviously the right shopping environment, and that depends on your target customer. The Thai retail market in terms of fashion and cosmetic is very competitive in the sense that you have both. You have the international players either already in the market or entering the market. Plus you have some very strong and long established local fashion brands, especially fashion brands, that compete also with the international brands. So in terms of the number of market players, it is probably on the higher side compared to some of the other Southeast Asian countries. And the market is very competitive also from a consumer point of view. Thai consumers are still very price sensitive, yet they are very fashion forward and fashion demanding at the same time. We've just established a few months ago, we launched it in September 2011, a totally new loyalty program called Minor Plus Card, which spans across 9 brands. So it bundles the consumers benefits and the brand experience where they can shop across 9 brands. The experience that we've had is when implementing the program that you really have to be very clear right from the beginning about 2 aspects. One aspect is the more back-end technical administration aspect, and here it's very important to know or to target that today's consumers, they want to have a hassle-free program registration. They also they don't want to have paper vouchers anymore. Times have moved, especially in Southeast Asia, towards be it SMS, email vouchers, mobile vouchers. So you really need to be able to communicate with your customers at that level, and your program needs to be able to support that. The second thing is it needs to be easy to operate for your staff, to make it seamless in the selling and in the cash out part of the shopping experience. And then the other part that you really have to conceptualize very early in the program is, again, what does your consumer want in terms of program benefits. Key here is there is no point in establishing a very elaborate redemption program if your customer wants instant discounts. So here it's really knowing a little bit what do your consumers want, and then construct a program around this that keeps them interesting, keeps them excited, and really responds to their needs, because ultimately any loyalty program, as the name says, is about customer loyalty. It's about engaging them, making them come back to your brands. One of the key lessons is for any loyalty program that it needs to be a top-down approach from senior management to filter it through the entire organization, right down to the retail staff. And you need to do that before you actually start rolling it out. It's your retail staff especially, they are ultimately your loyalty program ambassadors. They need to buy into the program. They need to be convinced that it helps them perform on the retail floor, that it gives them stories to talk about with their customers. So that it helps them also in their daily process. So here the task about internal communication and education and what we want to achieve is crucial. At the same time, consumer loyalty, any CRM program will give you a lot of data, so it can be data overload. Focus on the key performance indicators that you want to measure, that you want to target, and they will shift over time. But identify those, agree them with your staff, and measure them. This can be in the setup phase. We measured or tracked very, very clearly number of member recruitment even down to store levels. And we set very clear targets by store, how many members we expect to have in the first 3 months, how many members in the next 3 months, etc., etc. This will also give very clear direction to your staff. It will keep you informed very, very early in the process. Are you on track? Do you have to make changes to your program? After a while, this may change, that you say, I want to measure more average transaction value of members compared to non-members. Does it really pay off? Do my customers, loyal members, spend more? It can be about measuring the frequency. You have a lot of tools and data information. It's about finding the relevant indicators for you and what you want to get out of it. One thing that you will find as you go along by implementing a fully fledged CRM program is that some of your internal processes will change. The way you do marketing will change. Your marketing campaigns can be or should become much more relevant and targeted to customer segments, be it by age, by gender, by location. Your marketing department that typically comes from a brand point of view may not be used to that. In order to fully leverage your CRM messaging, you have to keep it as targeted and as relevant to each individual customer that we have. And this will change the way your marketing department has to approach their marketing strategy over and beyond the classical brand marketing strategies that they have. It is a lot of work, it is a lot of attention to detail, but that's ultimately what retail is about.